Biami Cave is located in Milbrodale, just off the Putty Putty Road. Aboriginal god Biami and Bimini's form is very visible, often in the night sky, taking its form from the shape of Orion. And in the southern hemisphere, Biami appears to be upside down. Hemisphere away, the Greeks too sought a god from the stars of Orion, and that is indeed what Orion is named after, but please note, this time the god is standing the right way up. Biami spends his eternity of time pursuing an emu, and indeed he manages to spear it with a twist. God Orion spends his time similarly but different. This time he is in pursuit of the celestial scorpion, but never manages to catch it. The twist I spoke of earlier can be seen in this photograph of an Aboriginal ceremony showing Biami impaled in the earth after spearing the emu and somehow managing to trip and landing upon the earth. However, his life is restored and he returns to his quest every evening. Then engage in a study of form. It can clearly be seen that Biami's arms are outstretched, like the arms of so many other gods and deities, almost to embrace you. The more we look, the more we see cultural similarities in places where they should not have occurred. The universal representation of Jesus is Jesus on the cross with his arms outstretched. In a photograph taken some years ago in Kakadu, we have a gentleman who has sinned. He has taken a girlfriend with the same colour skin. This may be a little bit difficult to understand, but it ensures that children are not inbred in Aboriginal culture. But the point I am making is the position of his arms when pleading with his accusers, similar to that of both Biami and Jesus. As the clan members and elders watch on, the god of lightning is about to strike the gentleman and his girlfriend down. You think it would be logical that their arms would be lowered to try and outrun lightning, but just like Jesus, their arms are outspread, fully accepting of their fate. Cultural significance and importance of arms being outstretched even occurred to Leonardo da Vinci in his Vitruvian Man. Bimini exists some 70 kilometres away from Biami, with his form being slightly altered. However, the story is almost identical. Biami's huge eyes and lack of a mouth can clearly be seen. The lack of a mouth is interesting for someone who pursues an emu, but getting to the matter of the eyes, just like all gods, not only does he welcome you with outspread arms, he also sees if you break the law and probably delivers retribution. And next we notice a belt, when Aborigines weren't really known for wearing belts, along with an enormous member, but I guess if you're going to fertilise planets, then you're going to need the right equipment. The image shown is that of the belt of Orion. No stars in the sky other than the sun itself are more significant to mankind than these three stars. As we gaze upon Orion again in the southern hemisphere, we can see the placement of the stars in relationship to the emblem of Orion himself. And we see the Egyptian connection. And indeed, the Athenians would have been highly enthusiastic to see that the alignment of the pyramids and the belt of Orion exactly matched their own god. But who came first? Orion the god or the pyramids themselves? And who was the author of this idea which is so widely spread? Then of course matters become more complex, because it turns out that the pyramids in South America also line up with the belt of Orion. So we have a group of people not known for wearing belts, brandishing a belt where the belt of Orion should be worn. We have Egyptians and South Americans, as well as Greeks, all looking at the same thing. There must have been some communication or travel between all these societies to get such a commonality of ideas. How, who, or when cannot be said, but it has obviously occurred. My knowledge of Biami Cave comes from interaction with elders. It can be clearly seen the outprints of hands of a range of sizes, and some of them even appear to be slightly rigor mortis. These would be the hands of past elders, and an elder is not based upon age, but based upon knowledge. And the hands that appear to be suffering rigor mortis are those of children who have been lost, but are considered to be elders by the level of knowledge that they possess. Now to the boomerangs. Well, on this point there is some disagreement. It is clear that the artwork has been laid down over time with different things done for different reasons. Some people say that the boomerangs are nothing more than graffiti from visitors, or possibly they had another purpose of the welcoming of friends by allowing them to contribute to the artwork itself. The axes too share a somewhat confusing story. Were they the axes of great hunters or those who won great victories? This is different depending upon who you talk to, but clearly for the axes to be there, they must be of some significance. The uneven stripes are said to represent both good years and bad. To this point, no explanation has been given on how the cave would be used. The elders would be sitting in the cave discussing matters and conducting ceremonies, while the people below enjoyed the bountiful food which grew in the area, as well as being near to the river. And there was a gathering there, possibly an annual one, to celebrate culture, from all surrounding tribes. A brief drone flight showed the bountiful number of caves in the area. Unfortunately, only those that are protected have had their artwork preserved. Indeed, Aborigines did also carve in stone, but sandstone is very soft and it erodes very easily. The site itself has been dated to more than 4,000 years old, so one can only imagine the amount of things that have happened there, and some of the artwork was also destroyed by cattle rubbing themselves against the soft sandstone to cure an itch. Many of the caves in the area exhibit charcoal burns, possibly from bushfires, but also possibly from people spending the night there to stay warm and cooking food. When you enter such a place, it is truly special. As you look, you see evidence of possible stone carvings, maybe natural, maybe done by Aborigines, but clearly an interesting shape. The cave itself is located on the outskirts of the Wollombi National Park. Indeed, it is a massive area of New South Wales and butts up to the area of the Blue Mountains National Park, holding many wonders, some of them very surprising. One of them, up until the late 1990s, was only seen in fossil form. Now called the Wollombi pine, a grove of them exists within the Wollombi National Park in a secure location as to protect them from modern bacterias. During the 2019-2020 fires, it was feared that the Wollombi pine was lost. However, a well-protected grove managed to survive owing to the shape of the terrain and efforts from firemen to protect them. I think a fitting place to end our presentation is with the seed of a Wollombi pine. A seed, like a child, offers so much hope of renewal and happiness. Thank you very much, and please subscribe. Until next time, please stay safe.